If actionable insight is gold for the retail industry, then turning raw data into smart decisions is alchemy for managers, property owners and investors. You may think it's easy, as data that describes rents, trends, demographics, regional characteristics and consumer behaviour is all around us. And still, too many times, decision makers feel they're not equipped with the actionable insight. Why is making gold so hard? We've invited Gareth Jordan from Art Software Group to teach us some alchemy. Now, data is everywhere. We can see what people are doing, where they're moving, what they're buying, what they're selling. But why have we failed to take this and turn this information into useful insight?
A lot of businesses have really struggled to adapt to the swell in data volumes. And that's no more so than retail and food and beverage, where the productivity and performance of any site has really reached a stage where it either is impaired or improved by the data and the access to data that they have. And that's not just about collecting the right information, it's also about making best use of it. So businesses often have gathered huge amounts of information and data from all sorts of different areas. In many cases, part of it's being used, or it's literally just sitting there gathering dust. It may have come from all sorts of different systems, and they may be in various locations. So often, if they try and put it together, it can be a very slow process, and equally so making any sense of it.
What does this slow compilation and processing of data, what impact does it have on retailers?
Time, in particular in retail, is such an important factor. There are so many different things that actually influence performance in retail. So if someone's trying to compile a report or build something that then they can act on, and that actually makes a difference, it's very difficult to do that in a timely fashion. You have, therefore, instances where retail professionals struggling to actually make their difference count in what they're actually doing. That applies in terms of the accuracy of data, because they're relying on accurate data to make important decisions. Say if someone makes a correction to data, and they've seen that's been corrected, but it hasn't filtered out across the entire business, the wider business. People are not necessarily on the same page, and there's a chance of there being a problem there. So these are issues of quality of data, but also application. So data that's not living up to its potential.
So how can we speed up that gathering of data and that gathering of knowledge?
Each data source is a small part of a wider story. So if we can collect and connect those, we tend to be able to see a bit more of the wider picture. So if you look at different patterns in sales performance, transactions in retail, etc., category mix, hotspots in retail locations or across a portfolio, traffic and visitor movement, rents and lease information, events and promotions. People like asset managers, investors, all the way across the business can actually see what makes a difference in either a site or across a network of different sites. It's about really getting a better ROI on the data you have and using it in the best way so that everyone across the business benefits.